No, I'm back here.
Way in the
They
back?
put me in the back.
Oh, because she was so tall.
Bob and Alice Sale's photo albums are a treasure trove of family history, but also of American history. Because 70 years ago, as an 18-year-old private, Bob Sales was among the first to come ashore at Omaha Beach on D-Day.
I was in B Company, 116th Infantry, 29th Division, World War II.
That meant that when the assault began, he'd be going in as a part of the second wave.
First wave was from Bedford, Virginia, and the second was from Lynchburg, Virginia. And it was a slaughter.
The initial advance began when Sales and his fellow soldiers boarded a British troop ship to stage for the invasion. In the middle of the English Channel, in the middle of the night, they were summoned.
On the boat that night, we were woke up at 4 o'clock. I got up on deck, and everybody, that's where we were going to load the landing craft, go down the rope, get on the landing craft. And I went to see as many of the men from Lynchburg as I could, because everybody was scared. They knew what was over there. We had been shown the aerial maps, and it was obvious that those machine guns and things were in those cliffs. So we were scared to death.
B Company loaded onto assault landing craft for the final few miles to the beach. But stormy seas and treacherous German fortifications delayed the arrival of tanks meant to provide cover. And an aerial assault, intended to create sheltering craters along the beach, didn't. Left exposed, B Company pushed on to the shore as machine gun fire rained down on their landing craft.
And it just cut us down as that ramp went down. And the reason I didn't get it, I fell over to the side of the ramp and went to the bottom.
He was able to surface and struggle to shore, but of the 30 soldiers that had been aboard his landing craft, Bob Sales was the only survivor. And ahead of him now, on the beach, all hell had broken loose.
It was just unbelievable. The dead laying everywhere. If one of your friends fell, you just had to step over them and keep on going.
Sales and the others who made it through kept on going, held the beach, and went on to liberate Europe.
It was a great day, but a lot of people paid a terrible price for it.
Today, all the men lost on D-Day are memorialized at the National D-Day Memorial in Bedford, Virginia. It's here because on D-Day, Bedford sustained the highest per capita loss of any community in the country. Those lost on that day live on in memory as the Bedford Boys.
There were 35 Bedford boys who served in Company A of the 116th Infantry Regiment of the 29th Division. They would be the first unit to go in on D-Day, 6:30 a.m. And out of those 35 Bedford boys, 19 were killed within about the first 15 minutes of the invasion.
April Cheek Messier is president of the National D-Day Memorial Foundation, also in Bedford.
This was a tiny community in 1944. Everyone knew one another. You went to school together, you went to church together.
My father was treasurer there, so we always went to church.
Lucille Hoback Bogus was 15 when the terrible news arrived.
And just as we were getting ready to go, someone knocked on the door, and my father went to the door, and they handed him a telegram.
All over town, similar telegrams started pouring in.
And once they did, as you can imagine, there were many of them, and the telegrams just kept coming, one after another after another.
And on Monday, we got the second telegram. My sister and I had thought we would try to make my parents feel better, and we were trying to make some homemade ice cream. When the second telegram came informing us that my brother Raymond Hoback was missing in action. If further details or other information are received, you will be promptly notified.
Lucille and her family would later learn that Raymond had also been killed on D-Day.
After we received the second telegram, and my mother was so saddened that I never felt like she was ever quite like my mom again.
Lucille keeps a small collection of photographs and letters from and about her brothers, and her memories remain strong.
I do have fond memories. My older brother Bedford was very outgoing and very, he just had fun in life. And my younger brother Raymond was very quiet, very reserved, and a little bit more religious, and might be reading his Bible when Bedford was out there throwing the dice.
Eventually, a Bible would arrive at the Hoback home, and that Bible had been picked up by a soldier who was walking the beach and found the Bible and did what any soldier would do, found that the mother's address was in there and mailed it to that mother.
Today that Bible is with Lucille, along with a letter from the soldier who sent it.
I imagine what has happened is that your son dropped the book without notice. Most everybody who landed on the beach D-Day lost something. It was a really sad, sad day. People in the community of Bedford were so saddened, and sometimes I almost think we've never quite gotten over it.
This memorial is laid out to tell the story of the Normandy invasion. The arch is exactly 44 feet, 6 inches tall for the date of D-Day, June 6, 1944.
Dedicated on June 6, 2001, Bedford's National D-Day Memorial aims to commemorate and educate.
So really what we want to give visitors is a lot of background with all of those units, regiments, divisions, ships and vessels, planes that were involved in the invasion itself. And so throughout the memorial we have these beautiful bronze plaques that tell the story of these various units.
The memorial also features a tribute wall, displaying the name of every member of the invasion force who died on D-Day. In designing the wall, it was discovered that no complete list of those killed could be found.
So this organization spent the next decade researching name by name every single soldier, sailor, airman, Coast Guardsman, merchant mariner who died on June 6, 1944. And those names are carefully placed on the wall that we have here at the monument.
Bob Sales fought on after D-Day and was sent home wounded 9 months later. Today he lives not far from Bedford, still proud of the service he and his comrades rendered.
My father said I wouldn't last a week, and I let him, when I got home, I didn't let him forget that. They say it's the longest day. I believe that it was. It was a terrible day, and it's never been forgotten, and never will be.